What are human shields under IHL? Imagine innocent civilians caught in the middle of a conflict, used as a barrier to protect military targets. This practice is known as using human shields. Under international humanitarian law, which includes the Geneva Conventions and their additional protocols, using human shields is strictly forbidden. It applies to all parties involved in both international and non-international armed conflicts. This law recognizes civilians and other protected persons as off-limits for attack and prohibits their deliberate use to shield military objectives. Human shields can be active or passive. Active shielding involves moving civilians close to military targets to prevent attacks. Passive shielding happens when military assets are placed near civilians to deter enemy fire. Both methods are illegal and violate the rules meant to protect civilians during war. Using human shields breaks the core principle of distinction in the laws of armed conflict. This principle requires parties to differentiate between combatants and non-combatants. It also demands that parties take all feasible precautions to minimize civilian harm. When civilians are used as shields, these rules are ignored, and innocent lives are put at risk. Legally, employing human shields is considered a war crime under the Rome Statute of the International Criminal Court. This law makes it clear that coercing or forcing civilians to stay near military targets is a crime. It also bans placing military operations in densely populated areas to exploit civilians' presence as shields. The practice of using human shields is not only illegal but also dangerous. It puts civilians directly in harm's way and makes it harder for military forces to operate without causing civilian casualties. Protecting civilians is a fundamental goal of international humanitarian law, and using human shields directly opposes this aim. In summary, human shields under international humanitarian law are protected persons who are unlawfully used to defend military objectives from attack. Their use is illegal because it endangers civilians, breaches the principle of distinction, and is classified as a war crime. All parties in a conflict are obligated to respect and uphold the protections granted to civilians under these laws.